So NBC Sahil Kapoor asked Representative Ralph Norman what was the GOP plan about the Affordable Care Act subsidies or a health care alternative. And his response was the consensus is we need to come up with something. That is their consensus for replacement for the Affordable Care Act. They've been attacking the Affordable Care Act for 15 years, and they still don't have a replacement. You'd think that they'd have a plan while they were attacking Obamacare every day for the last 15 years. But no, they don't. They have been in the concept stages long before Donald Trump came around. Choices are to extend it, to let it expire with something to replace it, or to let it expire with nothing to replace it. And I'm talking about the Affordable Care Act subsidies here. If Congress and Donald Trump extend it, they will be eating their words, and it will cause Americans no suffering for now, for the time being, depending on how far they extend it. If they let it expire with something to replace it, Americans will have to work with the replacement to get their insurance. For better or worse, it wouldn't leave Americans completely helpless when it comes to skyrocketing healthcare insurance costs. It all depends on what it would be replaced with. And then if they let it expire without replacing it, millions of Americans who rely on the Affordable Care Acts to get affordable healthcare will be left completely helpless, where they may have to go without insurance or pay for insurance that is 2 to 4 times more than what they have been paying under the Affordable Care Act. Currently, the Senate and House are mulling over whether they'll upend the lives of millions of Americans with haphazardly drafted healthcare legislations as short-term solutions to the healthcare problem. But why do they want to let Affordable Care Act subsidies expire while they come up with these plans? Why upend the lives because 500 people in Congress who have the best health insurance money can buy cannot agree whether Americans should be heavily burdened by healthcare costs or live with dignity with costs that don't destroy their monthly budgets, or give all Americans the healthcare members of Congress get. That will be more than sufficient. Healthcare shouldn't be this controversial. In most advanced countries, basic healthcare is free. In other countries, even if it isn't free, it is affordable. In America, healthcare bills routinely force people into bankruptcy. That shouldn't be the case in America. America has the capacity to provide free basic healthcare to all persons living in the country. What's stopping people from getting this free healthcare are pharmaceutical and health insurance company lobbies that have members of Congress and many doctors in their pockets. The healthcare industry currently preys on people and is profit-driven instead of need and care-driven. And so we need to change that. But will America ever be able to wiggle itself out of the grips of the lobbying groups and the boatloads of money and incentives for elected officials who are open to being sponsored and compromised by special interests? That's the pertinent question here. Will members of Congress finally realize what they are doing is hurting millions of Americans? And will they come up with a plan? Will the Republicans come up with a plan? Because they have been talking about it and attacking Affordable Care Act for 15 years, and they are still stuck in the concept stages of coming up with a healthcare plan. So keep your eyes on the ball. Keep your eyes on what's happening with the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act subsidies are scheduled to expire by the end of this month. So it is something that is coming up quite fast in 20 days. Keep your eyes on it and make sure you call your representatives and your senators to push them to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies because Republicans don't have an alternative to it. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.